Hello. Sorry to bother you. Can I ask you a slightly odd question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm making a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, where essentially I talk to people I don't know on benches for 10 or 15 minutes. Are you up for that? Do you want to give it a go? Okay, how are you feeling?
Good. How's it going?
Great. So let's explain what's happened here. We were about to sit on a bench, but it started raining
Heavily.
So this is a bench first. We are on a bench, technically, but this bench is in your van.
100%.
It is a small little ledgy boy, but
It's
it's,
a bench.
you know, there you go. So
Smart.
this is new territory. Okay, shall I tell you how this works?
Let's go.
There's a start question and an end question. It's the same for everyone who does this. And whatever happens in the middle just happens in the middle. If there's any questions you don't like, just shove me out the van.
Sounds good. Sounds all right. I'm good
Shove
at
it
that.
right out. First question is, do you have a favourite day of the week?
Oh. I do. Tuesday.
Why?
Tuesday is my quietest day of the week. It's the only day where I finish before 2 p.m, which is rare. Every other day I'm working until God knows when I finish.
So on Tuesday after 2, you know, what is the dream? I just realised we said you were in the back of a van. We should probably say what this, because people are going to be wondering.
Oh yeah, why in the back
What
of
van?
Yeah,
It looks like you deliver packages.
I do.
Unless you just have a lot of packages.
Yeah, just stole them from everyone. So yeah, I'm a courier in the area. Been here for 6 years, and Tuesday is the only day where I can finish early, and I get 2 days off a month. So it's consistent, hectic and mad all at the same time, but it's lovely, if that makes any sense.
Does make sense.
And on Tuesdays when I'm finished, I tend to do nothing, which is amazing.
Pure peace.
Yeah, man.
What does nothing look like?
Go home, eat, relax at home with the family, and then see the boys if I could see the boys, and sleep. It's just where my life is just so heavy all the time. Just to have one peaceful day just makes a massive difference. I can be human. So yeah, that's why I like Tuesdays.
That's a good answer. What would you be like? Let's imagine one of these Tuesdays, but it's totally free.
Yeah.
What would be your dream way of spending that whole day? Was there anything you would particularly do?
So first thing is have a fry up. Nothing beats a
Yes.
good fry up.
Yes.
You know, proper English breakfast.
What's in there?
Oh, sausage, beans, double hash browns.
Yeah, get the
Alright,
double in
you
there.
gotta get the double hash
Respect.
browns, toast as well, mushrooms, tomatoes, just a full whack. You know, I'm a skinny. Can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
I'm a skinny fat prick. Right. So anything to do with food, and then a coffee. And then honestly, wherever life takes me. I don't like to plan. I like to live. Sometimes planning is a distraction from living, if that makes any sense.
does make sense.
I just like to go with the flow of it.
Yeah. Can you give a go with the flow example?
You know what? Last time I done it was quite big as well. It was a spontaneous holiday.
Okay.
Right. I got the weekend off, which is very rare. Like I never get weekends off ever.
Yeah.
So do you want the weekend off? Yeah, of course. That evening I went home, booked a holiday, and I just went to Paris for the weekend.
Superb.
And it was amazing.
How do you find Paris? What's the Paris vibe?
I'm not a fan, if I'm honest. I'm not a fan. I'm not a
I
fan,
love
if
it.
I'm honest.
You booked it, but you didn't love
Yeah,
it.
you know, it's good to try different countries, different food, different cultures, and see if it's for you or for not.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, man. To
What do
travel
you-
is better than to arrive.
What do you think it was about it that wasn't quite your vibe?
When you go to Paris, it's basically London, but just nicer scenery.
Yeah.
The food was nice, with the Eiffel Tower, you know, you got the Mona Lisa, you got all of that lovely, lovely stuff. But it's just non-stop, just so busy, right? And the trains stink. Have you ever been to Paris?
Yeah.
The tubes stink. It's so bad, right? But apart from that, it's just I prefer London.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
Yeah, of course.
That's totally
London's
fine.
home.
Has London always been home?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 35 in a month. I came here when I was
Happy
3
birthday.
years old. Thank you, man.
So tell me, right, you're about to say you came here when you were 3 years old.
Yeah.
From?
Algeria.
Fantastic.
Yeah, North Africa. Beautiful sky, beautiful food, beautiful weather.
Do you know why I'm guessing you know why you came. What was the story behind you coming?
Oh yeah, it's a lovely story actually.
Oh, is it? Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So
Hit me.
when I was 3 years old, I drank bleach,
Okay, all right.
and it burned my esophagus.
Whoa.
Yeah, true story.
Hang on. This is actually part of the story of why.
I came to the UK.
Because you drank bleach.
I drank bleach when I was 3 years old in Algeria. So let me explain the picture for you, right?
Okay, yeah, hit me.
So we live in like a block of flats, right? And
In Algeria?
In Algeria,
Okay.
right? And I'm on the 6th floor. And I was thirsty, and I remember it to this day. I ran upstairs, little old me, right? Entered the kitchen. At the bottom of the kitchen, under the sink, you know, they got the cabinet, right? And we had 2 bottles, and the bottles looked like water, right? But they didn't have no
labels.
No labels,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Right, so I just saw it, and I drank literally a lid full of bleach. And on the spot, I just puked everywhere, right?
Oh, God.
So the doctors in Algeria said to my mum, look, your son, he's not going to live, he's going to die. So I got, 1, 2, 3 operations in Algeria, and they sent me here for medical reasoning. So I went to Great Ormond Street Hospital, and there was a doctor, I'll never forget him actually, he's a godsend. He said the operation is going to cost about realistically 20,000, but look, if you can sum up 10,000 to my mum. This is in 1994. It's a lot of money. She wasn't working. She had no paperwork. She's not a resident of the UK. She had nothing. All she came was for my son's medication, and we're going to go back.
Whoa,
Right, this is a true story,
that's amazing.
right? So my mum, she just took me around to all different charities, just raised 10,000 and went back to him like, here's the money, you know? Here it is. Done the operation. They had to cut 2.5 centimeters on my esophagus, and they had to cut 2 centimeters on my intestines off as well. So they opened me up from my front and from my back. So I've got like stitches in my stomach and in my back as well. It's a funny story. So until I was in year 5, which is what's that? It's about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Right. I used to eat from my stomach. I was not allowed to eat hard food.
Sorry, so again, you used to eat through
I
your
used
stomach?
to eat through my stomach. I was not allowed to eat through my mouth. So I had a tube in my stomach, and I used to eat from it.
Oh, whoa.
Right?
Just through there?
Through here. So I used to have a tube here, and I used to have baby food pumping through it to eat.
Whoa.
Right, this is in year 5, and then these are the operations here.
So Josh, for the purpose of people who can't see,
Yeah.
our stranger's lifted up his top to reveal that he's got this
Yeah.
amazing, like, what do you call it, a hole?
A second belly button. That's what I've
Second belly
named
button.
it. Yeah. So,
So that was how? That was from ages, what, 5 to 10, you say?
from the operation,
Yeah.
which was when I was about 4 until I was in year 5, so about 10 to 11 years old, give or take.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
that meant you just didn't taste anything, obviously, right?
No.
So what was that like when you were 10? What happened then? Was it just like an
So I
overwhelm?
was in school, in primary school, and it was lunchtime or break time, and we were playing football from what I recall. The tube that I eat from must have fell, and because it fell, I had to go back to the hospital, and they said, yeah, it's time to feed your son properly. He needs to learn how to chew and how to eat.
I've got a lot of questions for you now.
Sure.
I suppose the first question that came to me was like, what was the impact on you as a person having to endure all this? You've done something completely random, age 3. It's completely changed your life, well, forever basically. But
Yeah,
like,
literally.
how has it like shaped who you are? Well, who would you be without this?
That's a deep question, man. You know, because of me drinking bleach, I see it in 2 different aspects. In one aspect, it meant that I couldn't have a proper childhood. wasn't allowed to go out, wasn't allowed to go to play dates and all these things with your friends. I didn't have a chance to live with my father, right? Because he stayed in Algeria, he didn't want to move back to the UK.
Oh, so you weren't with that meant you weren't with him as well?
So just me and my mum, since forever. So in that aspect, it showed me the value of having someone who actually gave their life for you to the fullest, as my mum did. But then it also allowed me to understand people more and differently, if that makes sense. Like, I understand everyone's different, everyone's had their own pain and misery, or a blessing, which I call it. Because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be a British resident now, or citizen. It's given me the opportunity to make a life here and become the man that I am. So that's a blessing and a curse, if that makes any sense.
That's obviously a beautiful way of thinking about it. You know, it's important we think about these things as positively as we can to help us survive it. And stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But on the curse front, like, what of it has really held you back? Is any bit of it like?
Yeah, most of it. Most of it. Like, literally most of it. Like, it becomes an aspect where I can't do things that I want to do. Like, even till now, there's certain things that I cannot eat properly. My esophagus is too small. It's not a normal esophagus size. So then it gets stuck. This happened recently at lamb chops. And because I didn't chew properly, it got stuck in my esophagus and I had to go to the hospital and they had to put a tube down my throat to push it down.
Oh, man.
I can't breathe, right? Just through one little silly mistake, it's completely, in a way, it's messed up my life. But then if I did, and I was like a normal kid who drank water and not bleach, I would not be here. Well, it's...
I mean...
It's what it is, isn't it?
I've got two silly questions that come to my head.
Yeah, go for it.
But like, I mean, do you find just bleach anything now just like triggering?
Nah.
Does it mean anything? Like, do you see it and like you're like,
Nah.
throw you off?
I've learned not to take life too serious. Because I grew up in a school where I used to get bullied a lot. Right, because I used to have a tube and everyone used to see it and like, oh, you got 2 belly buttons and, you know, you can't eat like a normal kid and it fucks up with your brain, you know? Like, everyone else around me, like, everyone would play with everyone. That was just that one kid that was on his own a lot, right? And that, as a child, it messes you up dramatically. So I've learned now that I don't really care about anything or anyone or what people think. It's just, okay, it is what it is and move on with your life. So when I do see bleach, I just laugh. Like my sister now, whenever she says, oh, be careful, don't drink that. Oh, be careful.
You can eventually laugh about everything if you wait long enough.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the magic. Tell me, like, at the time, obviously you're 3, and you drunk it. Is there any part of you that places any blame on anyone? Like, obviously I was 3, I didn't know what I was doing, but...
As much as you want to, you can't. Because you're just making an excuse. And excuses get you nowhere in life. I messed up, I drank bleach, I'm here now. Could have been worse, could have been dead. I could have blamed someone else.
Good point.
It's true though, isn't it? It's just, it is what it is. And that's the last thing I want to do, you know? Start blaming someone for something that they had no knowledge of, no intention of. What difference is that going to make now? It's done.
You say, like, you had a tube in at school and stuff, and, you know, you used to be teased and whatnot. Like, how did you get through that?
You don't. That's the reality of it. You don't. You just have to deal with it.
So how did you deal with it at the time? You just tried to not...
You can't listen to it. Because, like, you're a kid. You're going to fight someone, I'm already skinny, they're going to end up hurting me, and that's it. That's another injury caused to already damaged body, innit? So I thought, you know, just got to learn to bite your tongue and leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who helped you get through that time other than yourself, that process?
I didn't tell anyone.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
okay.
I couldn't.
Why?
I don't know. As silly as it sounds, it's just, in a way, it's pride, but then this way it's starting another problem that you don't need. Where I'm from, in London, if you see something's wrong and you grasp, as they say, or snitch, or tell someone, it's going to come back to you regardless. So sometimes I just let it be. It's going to sound messed up, because I should have told someone about it. I just didn't. Way
Not even
more.
your mum.
Nah. As much as I love my mum and I tell her so much, I've always restricted what I told her in everything in life, which is good and bad.
So what about your teacher? Do they see it at all? Or is it kind of just always away from them, I guess?
It's just always away from them, really. Because my mum used to come to school, right, at lunchtime to feed me, and she'd take me to a separate room which they gave to her, so no one else could see me.
Being fed?
Yeah, to eat. But before and after, it's back to normal.
And when did that kind of stop?
When I went to secondary school,
Yeah. So that was like a new start.
that was like a new chapter.
So you rock up and you're without the tubes.
Without the tubes.
See that?
No one knows anything about me.
Yeah.
It's just a normal
And-
kid
and-
who's come to school.
And so you can pretty much start again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from secondary school. This is a good while back now, thinking about it. It was the last time where I was properly happy. If that makes any sense. There was no responsibility, no bills, no expectations. Just go study and do your best.
How did you place yourself in school? Like, you know, when you're that age, you often find a role to be like, you know, you're the clown or
Oh, yeah.
what did you, where did you put yourself?
I wanted to be the clown. I'm the clown below the clown. Yeah, so I was the clown that got caught in everything that happened.
You mean, I didn't say you try, you know, you're a bit cheeky when you got
Yeah, you
caught,
tried to be
yeah.
cheeky, but every time your teacher catches you and you're in detention, you're in trouble.
Can you think of any particular examples of things you might have done?
I've done so much. I've done so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done so much.
Go on, grab
Do you know,
one.
it's, you know, it's when you're young and you're childish, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You just say for the sake of saying. I think that's one habit that I've still got till now, where I speak what I think. I don't think what I speak.
Got
Does
it.
it make sense?
I see. So that would obviously land you in
A lot of trouble. But yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
ass.
When did you kind of like, or maybe you haven't, I don't know, but when was a point where you kind of like became not a little ass?
I don't know. For me, I
myself.
matured late. I like 21, maybe 22. Right, that's very late.
Yeah. But that makes sense, doesn't it? If you've had a childhood like yours where you've like your growth has been stunted by lots of different stuff in terms of emotional growth, right?
Oh yeah, but my
It probably makes sense that it would happen later on.
yeah. It's like 21, I think, or 22, and I started working. So I went to university and I dropped out, and then I went to another university and I dropped out again.
Let's rewind a minute. Why did you drop out of both?
I was just not.
Just went into it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Why did you go in the first place?
I done it for the sake of making my mum happy,
Yeah.
right? Because that was her thing. So I went the first year. I done business management and marketing. I thought, yeah, this is a good subject. Let me try it. Halfway through the year, I said, yeah, I'm not doing this no more. I'd rather work. You know, there's some people who are book smart and there's some people who are work smart, if that makes any
Street
sense.
smart.
Yeah, street smart, basically. But now I'm forcing myself to learn more and read more and educate myself more.
Love it. I mean, yeah, everyone can be both, I guess, or can improve at both, right? At least
Yeah, knowledge is beautiful. Knowledge is free, but people don't have the money to pay for it, if that makes any sense. And money is time.
Yeah. Or like that kind of form
It's
of
true, and
learning.
also it's just like I was kind of pushed into doing business studies, right? If I had the choice, I'd probably done something else, and maybe I would have continued and studied and got a degree.
Yeah. Well, at least you can say you tried it twice.
Yeah.
And so you drop out,
Yep.
and then
So I started working in retailer Clark's, you know, the shoe shop.
yeah.
Loved it. That's where I really learnt to grow and got more of a man, you know. When you start making money, you start to spend for yourself, provide for the house.
Yeah.
All these things shape you. That's where I learned how to sell, and I love sales. So that's where I thought, you know what, maybe I can be a salesman. Let me try that out. So across the road, went into EE, the phone shop, and I asked for a job. Then they were like, yeah, cool. So within the space of 2 days, across the road, got a job at EE phone shop. Then my old manager was like, what are you doing? I'm like, started a new job, mate. Yeah.
Just waving me across the road to the old manager.
He hated me.
I bet.
Yeah, hated me.
Why a year, not the shoes? The shoes got boring.
I've always been fascinated with technology and phones, you know, at that age. Everyone wants the newest phone, and I want to be the guy to sell it. And I was actually really good at it. She won a lot of awards from there. I was the best salesman in the whole country.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
The whole country?
The whole country, 17,000 employees, and I was number one, which is crazy.
Whoa.
And, yeah.
I suppose, so the big question is, like, I hope you don't take a slight offence to this
Well,
question.
How did I get here?
How do you go from being the top of something to them not doing it at all?
Two very stupid reasons. Right, the first one is greed, and the second one is mischief.
Okay.
Right.
Greed and mischief.
Yeah, so I
Right.
don't think it's...
Which one came first? I think it kind of mean they're together.
Yeah, it's interchanged, so hence why I left the phone business.
Right.
I'm not happy about it, but
Yeah.
it's a lesson learned the hard way.
Are these things, I mean, can I ask, are they like,
They're not legal, no.
they're not legal? Okay.
Yeah.
But someone must have found something so you couldn't do it. Or you jumped.
Yeah, basically.
But then you didn't get in trouble.
No, because before they done the investigation, I left.
Okay.
And so I quickly ran away from it. Yeah. And then I went to work for another company. And then the other company was a franchise.
Yeah.
And the franchise owner goes to them, look, if you don't get rid of this person, we're going to take one of your branches. To the franchise owner. So he was like, yeah, look, I'm really sorry, we have to get rid of you.
So your former job still came after you?
Correct.
And so at that point you're like, I'm just going to
Yeah,
just leave it
leave
entirely.
the phone world, yeah. So I left it completely.
You say you're like top salesman, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So obviously you enjoyed that and you're good at it. Like, what made you good at it? What are like the top 3 qualities you've got to have? What's the great secret?
You got to be a people's person. You got to be able to adapt to every situation and to every single person, because every single person that comes to you is something completely brand new that you don't know. So adaptability, and you got to be able to like charm your way into them and go for a close a deal.
Yeah.
What's the worst someone could say? No. Okay, he said no. Try again, and then keep trying, and eventually he's gonna say yes. And I was good at talking to people. I enjoyed it. I'm very relaxed. Cool, calm, collected. That's the best way to be in sales, I believe, anyway.
Yeah. Like it. So a combination of like charm,
Yeah,
a bit of push,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also keeping your cool.
100%.
Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
100%. Well, you have to be confident as well, man.
Yeah.
And a bit cocky as well.
Yeah. So I'm guessing in your job now,
Mm.
you're still seeing people just without the sales bit.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you still got that, which is nice. But
I agree.
is there something in you that like needs that?
Yeah, 100%. Because it's I can't work in an office. I can't be confined into one little space. I hate it. And me delivering your parcel, it's you allow me to enter into your life and me enter into your life. Because everyone that I delivered to, I basically know them practically by first name basis now. I've been delivering to them for 5-6 years now, so I know their routines, I know when they go on holiday, like they tell me everything practically. And it's lovely because if anything happens in the area, I quickly notice it. Like if I see someone that's not meant to be, I know. Like it's a sense of responsibility as well. It's a lot of trust. It's a community, it's a big family. That's how I see it. There are some people that you don't want in the family, but at the end of the day, it's family.
I've got a lot of questions for you about
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
being a courier. You were doing it 5 years, you say? The same.
Yeah, same area,
So
same
you've
faces.
got to know people. Like, what level of trust have you reached with some people? Will anyone like invite you in for a tea or like?
All the time.
Yeah. So
the
that's
time.
common.
Yeah, all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah, like I work in a very uptown area, right?
Yeah.
And their lifestyle compared to my lifestyle where I live is night and day different. Here they're happy, the roads are clean, they speak polite. I live in an area where everyone's miserable and everything is dirty. It's a different world. Obviously I'm delivering their goods and I want to do my job properly because I know them and it's a matter of trust. But you know when you go outside your way for someone that you don't need to do, it's a nice touch and it's rare. Especially in this time and age for people, especially with what's going on in the world as well. I'm Muslim myself. I deliver to Christians, Jewish people, Buddhists, atheists, every single person. And one thing is, we've all got the same respect for each other. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's the best way, you know?
Yeah. You get a sense of people being a bit lonely. Like, do you pick up on that?
Yeah.
These people.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
At that moment of their
There's an old
day.
lady that lives up there, right?
Yeah.
She's from Thailand. I don't know her name. I've been dealing with her for 5 years. I call her Granny. That's it. I come in, Granny, oh, hello, my son, how are you? I sit down with her, help her. It's because, like, she's got no one there.
Yeah.
And when I see her, even if I don't have something, I'll go just to make sure, do you need any milk? Do you need any of this? Just to double check on her, you know? And, you know, just me just calling her Granny, like, it makes her happy for that 2, 3, 4 minutes. And then let's go about my day. But there's a lot of people who are rich but unhappy. Like,
Yeah.
they've got everything you dream of, but they're miserable. Or they're lonely. And then there's people like who got nothing in the same area, but they're over the moon. Like, I've seen so many kids be born. I've seen about good 10, 11 kids from pre-birth to about 4 years old now.
It's amazing.
I've literally seen the
They
whole
kind
journey.
of grown
them.
up with you in a way.
Practically, yeah. I just see them like walking their dogs. Do you want me to walk your dog for you? Oh, but you wouldn't do me a favour, would you? Well, yeah, just leave him with me for half an hour, I'll bring him back. Oh, please, walk their dog.
Can you think of a delivery you've done which you remember really fondly, but there's some like small details of it that I have stuck with you, like either in them or around, or like some quiet moment rather than a kind of a big like dramatic one?
This doesn't relate to what you're asking me, but it might relate to what you're asking me,
Let's try.
right? So, there's a property that I delivered to up the road, and I deliver to her maybe once a week.
Okay.
And she's fairly new to the property. But every time someone moves into the area, I try to like, welcome to the area, nice to meet you. I'm your delivery driver for such company. If you ever need anything, just ask me and I'm happy to help. Never got anything out of her. Like, never ever said hello back, nothing. It's just she took it and walked out. It is what it is. She might have something going on. This one day, she left her key at the door and she's gone out.
So key by mistake.
By
in the
mistake, on the door lock, and she's gone out.
Door. Okay.
Right, and I had a parcel for her. And like, I've rang the buzzer and I'm waiting for her to come out. She hasn't come out. So I've left a note saying, you've left your key. It's your delivery driver. This is my number. Give me a call. When you're home, I'll come bring you it. She called me. She was panicking. Like, my key, da 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 da. Okay, breathe, relax. I'm coming. Okay, so she's like, it's you, the guy that's always happy. I try to be. She goes, oh my God, you're a godsend. I go, no, don't be silly, just doing my job, just looking out for you. She goes, every time you ask me, how are you? I'm always busy with work. I'm really sorry. I'm like, don't worry about it. You're busy, I get it, I understand. Let her be. She went, she bought me a box of perfume, like a proper expensive one, bless her soul, and a box of chocolate. She's like, look, thank you so much. Like, you didn't need to do that. I really appreciate it. I was like, I don't need anything in return. It's just, you know. She goes, no. You don't understand what you're doing. It's a matter of trust. I can trust you now with anything. I go,
Amazing.
but that's one fond memory that I've got.
So until that moment, she was just like,
Yeah.
basically didn't even acknowledge you.
Nothing. It's happened a
Funny,
couple of
isn't it?
times, the same thing as well.
Do you think, let's be a bit honest about this for a second. You're delivering stuff to, as you said, like an upmarket area.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing that people look at you
Oh, 100%.
here and just assume just like
Billion
not,
percent.
you're not in their league, you know, you're in a different league.
Trillion percent.
We couldn't like,
They look
it's
down
a
on
different
you.
world here.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm guessing you could obviously feel it, right?
$1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But over time, that's changed.
Yeah. But only because of like your
Because-
spirit, I guess. Like you just prove to them time and time again. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you think it takes you
To gain
to
someone's
gain that trust in that circumstance?
No,
where they're kind of looking down
forget
at
to
you?
gain their trust. To have a full conversation.
So even just to start, even just to begin,
Like, a full
to gain the trust.
conversation will take about 2 months. Because they'll get the parcel, they'll look at you, and then they'll be like, thank you, look away and go off. They wouldn't even acknowledge you. But once they see you all the time, and then, hi, how you doing, you right? The weather's nice. Then from there it goes to, oh, do you have something for me today? Good to see you. And then eventually it's, oh, how's your weekend been? And then from there, they start telling you about their life and their problems. And I know so many people's problems. Oh my God. I know so many people's problems.
Maybe this is slightly, what's the word? Slightly dodged, but let's go. Just don't say anyone's name.
No names.
Obviously. What is the biggest ongoing problem that somebody has that you have to kind of keep hearing about? Do you know what I mean?
There's one that I feel sorry for, right? There's
Yeah.
one that I don't feel sorry for. One of them is a lady that lives down the road. Bless her soul, her daughter's anorexic, innit?
Ah.
And I'm trying to help her find a way to get her food to eat. And this has been going on for about 2 years now. Right, bless her soul. But the mum, she's an angel. I feel so sorry for her.
But hang on, just why wouldn't she go to like?
She did.
Oh, she's
done
she sought
everything.
professional medical advice.
Professional, she's done everything you can name of.
Just out of interest, how has she come to trust you?
I've been delivering
that
to her
process?
I've known her for 5
Just
years.
because but obviously.
No, but I've spoken to her about my life as well.
Oh, I see. Do you think it's like related to your stuff with tubes and
Probably.
food, your
I did-
stomach
yeah,
and stuff? I don't know
probably.
if that- but is that any like?
He's
that's
probably
not
seen me,
related?
look at this tall, skinny, he must not eat. Let me ask him, he might know something.
Yeah.
But
So you feel pretty invested in that? I mean, like obviously, like hard to
100%.
yeah.
100%. Because it's a thing where you don't have a choice but to be invested, because you're just going to see them again and again and again and again. So whether you like it or not, you're going to try and do whatever you can to help them, because you're going to want them to be better.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, she's 18, her life is just about to start.
Yeah.
You want to see her to live well and eat better and try something. Right? That's
It's a lot
sad-
for you to take on, just like a whole other. I mean, this is like a deeply complex thing that you've like suddenly.
You
got
have no
yourself involved.
idea, my friend. You have no idea.
That's intense.
This is just one of many. And the other one, I've seen a guy
Yeah.
cheat on his partner, and he's brought another woman to the house.
Okay,
Right?
hang on. Let's
Yeah.
Let's back up a bit. Let's back up a bit.
So I've gone to.
So you know who? So you know who?
I know both of them.
You know both of them, and you
Yeah.
know they're together.
I know they're together because I've seen them together
Yeah.
many a
And
time.
would you know for sure they don't have an open relationship, for instance?
There's only so much you can know. I don't know. I'm not gonna ask.
And then, so hang on. Then you've seen someone.
So I've seen. So the wife, because they're married.
Yeah.
Right, she's gone on holiday, and I know the wife. So now I've seen the husband with this other woman entering the house or exiting the house or walking up and down the road, and I'm thinking like, why? Like if you're gonna cheat, you might as well not be with someone.
But have they seen? They haven't seen you.
Oh, he's seen me.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We've
lots of it.
made proper like eye contact. Like, okay, but it's not my business. Man, if it's
The
not your
things
business,
you see, man. The things you
yeah.
must have seen. You
Yeah.
know, all the little windows into people's lives. Have you come to like, I don't know, I feel like it's quite rare you meet someone who gets to see so many different lives in one day.
Right.
Maybe it's related to this area, but how do you end up feeling about just how people do their lives? You know, like you ever like, this is just mad? Or like you feel like, you know, like
You know, it's
you've seen a lot of lives. On the whole, do you think people are getting it right? Do you think you see common mistakes? Do you see, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, stay in school and study. It's the best advice I can give anyone. If you want a proper life, either you need to have a talent. A lot of footballers that live here, a lot of musicians, or a lot of doctors, lawyers,
Right.
a lot of people who are very higher tier in what they do, like the best of the best. These people worked hard for what they have, and they deserve the life they deserve. That's how I see it.
Although some of them might have just got it from generational wealth,
Ah, lucky bastards.
you know.
I wish I had generational wealth. I've got generational poorness. I can't blame Nova Kelly, it's life. That's
Yeah.
one thing. That's one thing. Teaching your kids about finances. That's one thing that a lot of people in this area they do. They educate their children about finances.
You don't feel like you got that?
I didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. How money works, the value of money, and how to spend your money.
What
Right.
do you wish you learned?
Everything. I got none of it. Unfortunately, my mum had to raise me on her own, and she was restricted to what she could do. That's one thing I regret that she didn't do. Which, again, I can't blame her, because And there was a lot on her plate. She lost her mum and dad. She left them all just to come and medicate me. So as much as she wanted to, she couldn't. And I can never blame her.
You mentioned your dad earlier stayed in Algeria. What happened?
He just never
After
wanted
that.
to come.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then what? But what's happened to, like? Is he still alive?
He's alive. I just don't have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
It's sad because I've always wanted to have a relationship with him. But in a way, pride is not allowing me to have a relationship with him.
There's still time.
I know there's time, but it's two different worlds. I'm speaking English and he's going to speak Arabic, right? And I don't get me wrong, I speak Arabic and I understand it fluently,
Yeah.
right? But there's only so much that we can speak to each other about because we live a whole dramatic world. I'm a very easygoing person. I can speak to anyone about anything and not for any type of way. But like, do you know when your body or your mind just stops you from doing anything?
Yeah.
That's how I feel with him. And I've tried before to reach out, to try and have a conversation, but
Well, he doesn't get. He doesn't
it's like you're
respond.
speaking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
Have you ever spoken to a brick wall? Hello. That's what you hear. They forget about it.
Yeah. So, but is that a sadness for you? I mean, do you think about it?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because I didn't grow up with a father figure in my life.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that as a man I had to learn to do on my own, like
Yeah.
ride a bike, shave, play football, you know, go out for a meal, or like even Father's Day, get him a card, something stupid like that, right? Or even like parents' evening. It was always my mum and then they'd ask, oh, where's the dad? And then I'd say, yeah, he's not here. But it plays a massive difference having
Yeah.
both parents.
Yeah. I haven't asked you anything about romance stuff. Is there a person in your life?
Well, yes and no. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. There is a person in my life, right?
Yeah.
And I've been speaking to her for what, 3 months?
Okay, so new.
Very recent.
Yeah.
But where I've been scarred from the past,
Okay.
I haven't allowed myself to fully dive in. Right, so I've put a massive barrier to how much I can tell her and how much I can open up to her about or trust her with.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because as much as I want to open up to her, I'll be married and divorced, right, in the space of 2 years.
Oh God, right. Okay, that's fast.
It's messed me up.
So that's the scar bit you're talking about.
That is more than a scar. That's
All right. And you're someone with legit scars as well in your body.
Yeah, innit? So double up, like, innit? Double down or go home.
Inside, outside.
Innit?
Full package. Can I ask about the scars at all?
Yeah, of course. Go
Yeah?
go ahead. I've
Okay.
gone over them now.
Okay. So the marriage was pretty.
It
so I
was
guess
beautiful until the wedding day.
Okay.
Imagine that.
I'm trying to imagine.
The
Okay,
most,
beautiful.
everything about it was beautiful.
Okay,
The
so
way
how-
that we met was like a Disney film,
Tell me.
right? So where I live, they've got something called LTNs where they put road closures at the end of the road. They're just about to start it.
Yeah.
So today was the last day that I can go through this one road.
Yeah.
But again, I was working this job. And this is the only day I think I've ever been late in the last 6 months, maybe a year. So instead of being down the road at 7:30, I was there at 8:15.
Yeah.
And I remember to this day, June the 15th, going down the road, and then she's crossed. And as she's crossed, I've had a hard break. And I've looked at her and I was like, I put my arms up and I was like, what are you doing? And then she looked at me, she goes, what are you doing? And I'm looking at her like thinking, this girl, was like, is she a crackhead? Is she stupid? What's wrong with this girl? Why is she not crossing like a normal human person at the lights, right? And then like she smirked off and she walked off and I thought, you know what? I like her energy. I don't know why. I thought, I like her energy. So I got out the van, I've chased her up the road, I got to, hi, nice to meet you. I had a business card back then, this is my business card. I'm gonna end up marrying you. A year later, on the same day, we got married.
Whoa.
Word for word, a year later, June the 15th, we got married.
Did you choose that day because it was a year from that? I mean,
Yeah, it was a 1 year anniversary. And I done it. Okay, it's gonna sound weird, I don't know if you're gonna understand it or not, but I was very religious.
So you were very religious at that time?
Correct, and I wanted to follow the religious aspect of marriage,
Okay.
right? So you can't do nothing, no kissing, no
No, nothing.
sexual
Yeah.
intercourse, nothing, it's just straight.
Holding hands, fine.
Ideally not.
And
Right.
did you uphold this like? pretty
Upholded it completely. Like I went the full whack.
Yeah.
Wedding day comes, it's all going lovely. Things happen, she has an argument with my mum. Massive argument in front of everyone at the wedding hall.
Okay.
The wedding got cut off. Right, and then from that day, it was hell. Nah, I wouldn't say it was hell, that's a lie. I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't hell. It was a mixture
Complicated.
It was beautiful and it was tough, you
Yeah.
know, but it was an eye-opener. That's when I really learned how to be a man.
In that period after the wedding.
And through the divorce, that's when I learned to really be a man.
Okay.
That's when I valued what love is, what I valued my time is and my peace is. Now, value my peace and my time more than anything else. Hence why I cannot open up to another person so quickly.
Okay, so obviously just
Yeah, go ahead.
so many questions for you about
Go
that.
ahead,
we
go
just
ahead.
said.
It's a story, right?
Okay.
My life is literally a roller coaster.
It's okay, right. So, I mean, basically, can you take me through like how your mum and her have ended up having a big argument?
In Islam, we have two separate sides to the wedding. There's a females only side and there's a men's only side.
Yeah.
Because Islamically, the woman's not allowed to show her face,
Yeah.
her hair, or her body.
Right.
Right? Any other man apart from her husband or her dad or her brother.
Got it.
Anyone else apart from them three is forbidden. You're not allowed. So until then, perfect. And then I've gone in to, you know, at the end of the evening, have some cake, take some pictures with my mum, her mum. Suddenly, her dad, my brother-in-law, my brother have entered the hall
Right.
without anyone informing us that they're entering the women's section hall to take pictures with me. Now, as they've entered, obviously there's a lot of women without the headscarf and she was wearing a dress and you could see her upper chest, right? Now, she turned around and started shouting at my mum. For the men coming in.
Oh, because she thought that
That my mum initiated for them to come
I
in.
see.
And then the whole hall is full of guests and there's music playing, but as the shouting has happened, the DJ has chosen to put the volume down. As he's put the volume down, everyone's hearing the shouting going on. And then, you know, it becomes pride now, like how is this young girl shouting at my mum, man. Long story short, that's gone on and on and on and on. My mum just said, look, why are you shouting at me? Like, if you keep shouting, I'm just gonna walk out. And then she shouted again. My mum was like, okay, cool. She walked out.
Why has the DJ turned the music down?
Because people are people, you know. Some people
Surely
just,
it's got to go the other way.
Yeah, life is life, and life lifed. Cool. So
Life really did lie.
Yeah, man.
Right. Okay. So back to the argument. Then you're having an argument. Then your mum walks out.
yep. So
Then
now
what position are you in then? What's your brain doing at that point? Like how are you?
I swear to you, not. I was just sitting there thinking, what the hell am I gonna do now? Do I pick my mum, or do I pick my wife? And as a man, that's the hardest decision you can make, right? But realistically, the right answer is your mum, because your mum's been there for you since forever, especially for me. Obviously, so I've gone to my mum and I've told her, look, don't worry, we'll sort it out, we'll try to resolve it. So I've taken her home, gone back home to my mum's. Yeah, man, and then I tried to get them to talk. She was stubborn, my mum was stubborn. After about a week, there was finally some communication between the two. So imagine for a whole week, I'm just there trying to deal with the situation.
There, go like the mediator.
Hell. Sorted the situation, just
Yeah.
about. We end up living together for what? About a year, give or take. We went on some holidays, it was nice, but it got to the stage where the topic kept coming up and then there was no respect between her and me and my mum. So I told her, look, I've tried and I pick my mum all the time. So good luck in your life.
So it was the divorce is your call.
Yeah,
You initiated it.
I initiated it.
But you basically couldn't see a point where.
Once
they-
there's no
they would
respect in
recover.
relationship, there's no more relationship. You
Yeah.
could try as much as you can to fix it, it's done.
So you said earlier that you like that divorce was like a huge learning
Yeah, 100%.
moment. Can you say why that's been the case?
You learn who to give your time to, man. To give your love to give your energy to. Because money comes and goes. But your energy, you know, that takes the most out of you. Especially when you're giving everyone everything. To give everyone everything is tough.
You said also, I'm trying to remember the exact phrasing, but you said like I was religious then,
Yeah.
before, which would imply that you don't feel the same now.
No, so
Like, so what does that mean?
my life has been a bit of a mess with everything that I've done that I told you about, and this is the first time I thought, let me try and follow God's plan.
Before you got married?
Before I thought, let me do it properly just to please God, so hopefully I can get what God wants me to get, which is heaven. Everyone wants to go to heaven. Whoever says doesn't want to go to heaven is practically lying to you, right? So I tried it, didn't work out, and then after I just fell out of love with religion and humans, if I'm honest with you. I just stopped caring about anyone and everything, and I just did whatever I wanted to do, which is good and bad.
I mean, where are you now with all that?
I'm trying to get back to God.
So somewhere in between.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
So with your person you're seeing, for instance, so let's imagine you do find someone that excites you, like, would you try and repeat the same thing you did with your ex-wife, or would you, I don't know, do you know what I mean? How you
No,
proceed?
so the woman that I'm seeing now she's not Muslim, she's Christian. So that's a whole change in the aspect, right?
Yeah.
So I'm allowing myself to open up to someone based on the person that I like. Sometimes you go for looks, right? And looks is the worst thing for someone to have, because they could be the most beautiful person in the world and their personality is like trash. But this time I've actually gone for personality instead of looks. So I'm going for someone that actually gets jokes. You know, someone who can hold the conversation, who can be human,
Yeah.
who I can bring round and everyone can have a laugh with, go out with and feel normal, you know? I don't know, man. Love is a beautiful mess. It's a love-hate relationship you have with love.
So there's a bit of promise now. There's a bit of new hope, though.
Yeah, you can say that.
But you're just like you
No,
said
it's putting
mentioned
restrictions,
scars.
yeah,
So like you're
it's
just
putting-
wary about.
You have to, though. You have to restrict yourself to how much you can open up someone about until you feel ready to actually move forward with them.
Yeah.
Because if you tell someone everything in the get-go, like what we're doing here, which is nuts, I've never done this before, but just to open up someone's crazy. It's like a therapy session today. I actually needed this. Bloody hell.
Like what would be the moment where you feel like you could open up to the new person?
I don't know.
Is it time that would sort it out, or is there something that?
God knows.
Yeah.
I've opened up someone once, and to open up someone again, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah. What are you hopeful for the future? What do you think you still got to like understand about yourself? You know, do you think there's stuff that you still got to work out?
Stop giving more for less.
Stop giving more for less. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because when you're going to give everything to everyone, and then you get nothing in return. Not that you need anything in return, but like it's the principle of foundation, or fundamentally, I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you my energy, I'm giving you my love. What am I getting out of it? Nothing.
Yeah. So you're saying like you're going to choose
you
where your
can invest
energies go a bit more carefully.
Billion%.
Yeah.
Like now I've got 2 friends. I've got 2 close friends, and the third one who's dwelling somewhere. Right?
What's this third one?
He's just there, he's roaming somewhere.
Just somewhere.
Yeah, just
These
somewhere.
2 close ones.
Yeah,
What do you look for in a friend? It sounds like obviously you are someone who you're really a friendly person. So
yeah,
like,
but people know me, but they don't know me. Like they know, oh yeah, that's that guy who does this and that,
Yeah.
but they don't actually know the person. They don't value the time to want to know the person.
so what you're saying is the 2 close friends do know.
Yeah,
do know
I've known
that,
them for over 20 years. Which is
That's a long time, 20 years.
yeah, I've seen them go through a lot.
Amazing.
It's life, innit? It's what makes us us.
Yeah. So you were friends for 20 years with these 2 people.
Yeah.
I often think like
Friendship
good friendship should be the model for like good romantic relationships as well. Sometimes, you know, if you think like what I mean by that is like how have you maintained such a good friendship with these
Experience.
with these people for such a long time?
Experiences. they've been there for me when I was going through hell and back, and I was there for them when they're going through hell and back. And sometimes the person who you don't think you need the most is the person who you value the most. So obviously they're my best friends, and I didn't think I need them that much when I was going through what I was going through. But in reality, it was them who helped me become sane again. 'Cause I was going down a bad hole.
What, after divorce?
Yeah, very bad hole. But good people bring you back to normality, you know? And sometimes you got to step back to move forward. That's how it was. There's a saying that we have, it's called charge it to the game of life. So if anything ever happens, say you, I don't know, you break a leg or your car breaks down or you drop your food or whatever, just charge it to the game of life. It is what it is.
I like that. Charge it to the game.
Charge it to the game, man.
So let's do looking forward. What would you like to happen in your life that hasn't happened?
Nah, I got a business venture I want to get into. It's gonna take time, but time is beautiful because it's knowledge. Because you get to learn about the fundamentals of what you need to learn about to make the business better. But realistically, you have to live in your own means. Just want a simple, peaceful life, I'm honest with you. Don't really ask for much. Simple, happy, peaceful life. Easy.
A few more peaceful Tuesdays.
A lot more peaceful Tuesdays. I like that, peaceful Tuesdays.
I forgot to ask,
Go for
and I
it.
should have asked about being a courier. Like, what do people not know about the realities of this life?
The parcel world.
Yeah.
I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. This is now because it's Ramadan, because I'm fasting, right? So realistically, I wake up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I get to the depot for 7 a.m. I start loading my van in the rain like today. And however you see the parcel is however I get the parcel. So if the parcel comes broken, it's because I've got it broken. I don't pick it up and smash it on the floor. No. For the company I work with, because I'm self-employed, I get 2 days off a month. So that means weekends away, all of that, you know, that you dream about, you know, a little trip here and there, forget about it. And Christmas time, we're finishing at 10, 11 o'clock every day. And Christmas time, for example, I work 6 weeks without a day off. So it's a tough gig. And don't ask stupid questions. Who's it for? What's the name on the parcel? You know it's for you.
Yeah.
We give you a time slot of when we're coming. You get an email when we're coming. And I'm sure you've heard my voice for the last 6 years. So I know you know it's me. And it stresses me out so much. Like, hey, I got delivery, who's it for? I go, it's for you. Yeah, but who is it for? I go, you saw me yesterday. You saw me the day before yesterday. You're probably going to see me tomorrow. Honestly, it's the best worst job you ever have. I swear to God.
Best because you get to...
It's best
see
because
everyone.
it's fun, man. You know, you can be your own self, have a laugh with everyone.
But also, it sounds like you bring as much magic as you possibly can do to it. Like, you turn up and you smile at people and you like...
I do it
Clearly people
for my own
start
sanity.
trusting you and like...
Honestly, for my own sanity. Because if I walk around miserable, I'm going to be miserable. And people buy people's energy. Positive energy brings positive life. Brings happiness, brings whatever you want.
I'm going to ask you 3 more questions and I'm going to leave you alone.
Sweet.
What is those beautiful sight you've seen recently, just like with your own eyes, like going around wherever you've been? That is something that stayed with you.
Yeah, it's going to sound like something silly, right? And it's something that you just see on a normal, everyday basis. It's just seeing people walking their dogs or just, you know, it's the little things. It's not about the big things. It's because the little things, they're the things that make the big things. But like I'll see someone just walking their dog, like this little wave. That means more than a lot, if that makes any sense. It's the little things.
That's beautiful.
Like I said earlier, less is more.
Yeah. What If you could bring back one thing that you've lost, but it can't be a person, what would you bring back?
It's a good question.
Thanks.
See, I want to say it's time, but that don't make sense. Because you can't bring back your time, it's done. I want to say my sanity, but then that's made me who I am now. I would say my trust, but it's allowed me to trust the people who I trust now and not anyone else who I don't want to trust anymore or open up to.
Could be an object. Your favourite mug? You got a favourite mug?
No, I don't actually. I should have one though.
That's all right. I mean, you answered the question quite well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a complicated question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
What are you doing in your life when you feel most free?
Watching Arsenal play.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, man.
Football.
Football. I love my football, love my Arsenal. That's the only time where I can get away from reality. Whether it's wins, losses, draws. I know for 90 minutes I can zone away from all my problems and enjoy whatever's happening. Obviously it's a roller coaster of emotions, but right now we're doing pretty well, so I can't complain, you know?
Top of the league.
Top of the league, mate. Yeah, man, football.
Like, what will you do if Arsenal win the league? How would you celebrate?
I don't know, man, I'll lose my head. I'll be honest with you, but I know there's a lot.
Can you put an Arsenal flag on the van?
100 billion.
Something like
I mean, I'll put
Is
it
that
on the
allowed?
dashboard. No, make sure people know. I'll be walking around in
Just
my
toot your
Arsenal
horn
top.
all through the night.
Yeah, innit? I live near Tottenham.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So
Oh, yes, even better.
they're going to love that.
Love it, mate. Love it.
Okay, penultimate question. Because we're in because we are in the back of a van, and sometimes I get people to like look out if we're on a bench and say like, you know, what can we see and like how does this make you feel? But sometimes also when we don't have a particularly good view or no view, then I get people to close their eyes. So we're going to close our eyes now, and I'm going to ask you to kind of like think back to a moment or a room, a place in your life which you feel you can describe in the most detail. It could be like a mundane thing, it doesn't have to be a dramatic event. Oh, watch it. Did someone notice something? What was that? Is that right?
Yeah, I thought someone opened the door.
Oh, to the front. Oh shit! I didn't know. Oh yeah. But it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
Oh fuck! It could have been driven off. That could have been the most exciting bench moment yet. In the back of a van, just driven off.
Sorry, bud.
That's all right.
I don't even know how you saw it. It's happened to me before, actually.
What? Someone's just trying to drive the van off while you're in it.
Someone stolen the van from me.
Christ!
Yeah.
I suppose everyone's after these parcels, right?
Literally.
They're valuable.
Yeah, sorry, man.
But where were? Yeah, sorry. Right.
Place in a
Back to where we were.
moment.
Right. So like thinking back
Yep.
to a scene
Yep.
in your life, like it's just for whatever reason you really remember that scene and that moment, just to think of that what was around you and the details and describing it.
I was in Thailand, in Phuket, and it was about 3 in the morning when I was sitting there alone on the beach, and it was just absolute silence, and you just hear the waves, you know, and you look around, there's no one there, and it's just peaceful. The stars were out, the moon was shining, you could see the reflection on the waves, the water and the sea was warm. And I think it was at that point in my life I felt at peace for the first time in, years. That's when I realized that my self-worth is the most important thing, because whatever's happened has happened, whatever's written for me is written for me, and right now I'm happy. Yeah, everything about that was just perfect.
Beautiful. Why was it 3 a.m. out of interest?
I was probably licked off my head. Somewhere in Thailand, you know what I mean? At that point, it was
That's
a
why
bit-
it's so serene.
That's why it was perfect.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, look, we reached the end. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you for having me, man.
This is a memorable one. Back of a van.
Yeah, this is...
You know. There you go. Okay, last question for you. What are you going to do next?
Finish off the parcels. Unless you got parcels to finish off, and then we're gonna go home and break my fast. But live. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna live. Like I'm really gonna live. I've been alive, but now I'm gonna live. I'm going to live life to the max. Like I lived with a lot of restriction, or like a lot of barriers that I've set myself, and a lot of people set on me. But now, there's no more. Now it's just going out there and taking everything and doing everything. Yeah, man.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
for
time.
having me, man. Thank you. ever
Sorry
so
for
much.
breaking up the parcel time.
I mean, this is part of the journey, you know? We're just gonna charge it to the game.
Mother knows best. Mother knows best. Postman cowboy ties his own tie, boy. About to die, boy. Mother knows best. Rye golden road. Keep strangers as friends. Try to be happy, to be on time. Life is for living, or so they say. I feel your breath in every word that gets away. Mother knows best. Mother knows best. A postman cowboy ties his own tie, boy. About to die, boy. Mother knows best. I'm so lucky to even be around. Could be a line in the paper, left wet on the ground. Old friends say it's hard when you're close to the end. I've no fear of dying. I've shook its hand. Mother knows best. Mother knows best. The postman cowboy ties his own tie, boy. Didn't die, boy. 'Cause mother knew best.